was really sick, man. I hadn't had a sore throat like that. It started out with fever and chills, you know, and then I got this horrible sore throat like never before in my life. I've had strep throat, but I haven't been sick in a good 18 years. I haven't been sick like that since I moved here to Vegas. And so this really knocked me out, man. And from the fever, and I wasn't eating. I didn't. I in those 14 days, I had maybe 10 meals the whole time, and even that was just like stuff. One time I had some Chinese food, and one time I had one of those Impossible Whoppers. So the rest of the time it was just like French fries I would eat. Because I wasn't leaving the house. So I was really, really, really in bad shape, and from drinking the NyQuil, I was drinking a lot of NyQuil just to clear my sinuses and help me sleep, and this horrible sore throat I had. I was dehydrated because I couldn't drink anything. I was having all these memories of my life and my youth and past relationships, and these dreams, these really vivid dreams. And I watched this movie about Sid and Nancy, back in 1979, back in Manhattan with the Chelsea Hotel and Max's Kansas City and CBGBs and all that kind of stuff. It just brought back all these memories of my life, and old past relationships and stuff. And it was so intense and so vivid, that I had one ex-girlfriend had a dream about me and contacted me. And, says, well, Ed, I was thinking about the other day. I was thinking I was back in New York, and I says, why? You're not going to believe this. I've been having these fever dreams. I've been thinking about you, too. And another ex-girlfriend of mine here in Vegas contacted me on Thanksgiving morning just to say, hey, how are you? I'm thinking about you. We made peace. I had one of those little breakups, and it wasn't a big deal. But so it was just so intense, this flu, And so I've been feeling weak and been feeling sorry for myself, and now, pity party for myself here. And in the past 24 hours, or 48 hours, you hear this story of this young man, Carlos Gregorio Hernandez Vasquez, a 16-year-old Guatemalan migrant, who is held in one of those detention centers, okay, in Texas. And young 16-year-old man, you see the photos of him, handsome guy, handsome kid, his whole life ahead of him. Just think, 16 years old. Think back to, I was thinking back, to when I was 16 years old in the past couple of weeks. I was thinking back to it. I can remember my girlfriend when I was 16 years old. The passion, the love you have for a young love like that when your first loves, your first job when you're 16, your first car, all that kind of stuff, right? And I've had a whole life, man. I'm 57, so it's been a whole 40 years since I've been 16 years old. 40 years of life I've had. But this kid, 16 years old, was in this detention center, and he caught the flu. And he had 103-degree fever. Now, here I am feeling sorry for myself over here. I got a nice warm apartment. I got a nice bed with a blanket and pillows and TV set and watching movies, while I'm recuperating here. And I'm on the internet, I'm on the computer, I'm on the telephone, talking to ex-girlfriends, I'm sitting there drinking my bottles of NyQuil, and I don't take the recommended dosage on that stuff, I just take sips out of the bottle, all day long. Sip it like I'm sipping cognac, taking, Tylenol and ibuprofen and all that kind of stuff. Every 2 hours you're switching back and forth, nasal spray, tissues to blow my nose, all the stuff you got when you're sick and you're feeling sorry for the bowl of soup, You're feeling sorry for yourself. And here's this kid on a cement floor. His symptoms had to be worse than mine, man, because, they had all kinds. He had sepsis still, infections, and hey, And the kid was just lying there on the floor throwing up blood. Until then, they had a video of him, in his cell. Because, for some reason we take young men, seeking asylum, and we put them in prison cells. I can't figure that out, why that is and why that's acceptable to people, why we would hold people in such horrific conditions, but that's what we do. And even when they're sick and should be in a hospital, 103-degree fever, you just let them lie there on the floor with a aluminum blanket, and you just let them die. 16 years old. No chance. No opportunity. And, I know there's going to be people that are going to listen to this show and say, well, Ed, he was illegal. That he didn't have a certain piece of paper in his pocket that I have in my pocket. That makes me better than him. I deserve life and he deserves death, Ed. He deserves what he gets because he doesn't have his piece of paper. Because a lot of people think that they got some kind of piece of paper in their pocket that's going to save them from that same kind of brutality, the same kind of inhumane treatment and brutality is not going to befall you that befell this poor kid because you got a little piece of paper in your pocket. And that's what you think. That's what you think. All right? And that's just brilliant thinking, man. That's really going to work out good for you. Hey, so, God bless this kid, Carlos Gregorio Hernandez Vasquez, a 16-year-old boy. He's got a mother, got a father, got relatives, people that loved him. And just another statistic. 6 kids have died in custody here, in these detention centers. And you have people trying to say that, oh, no, Ed, Trump's rescuing these people. They're victims of human trafficking. He's saving them, Ed. That's why he takes them and puts them in these cages to die. Ed, don't you see that? Well, how do you know that? Where did he come up with that theory? Well, Q tells us, Ed. Q, an anonymous 4chan Reddit guy who gives us clues and fortune cookie little clues and tells us these. And right around the corner, Ed, there's going to be all mass arrests and all this kind of stuff. And we're all going to be happy and Hillary's going to jail. Because Trump's going to save us all, Ed. All right. Yep. Well, we'll be getting into that in a minute. We'll be getting into that stuff in a minute. I got a whole lot to tell you. I'm watching these impeachment hearings and stuff like that. This guy Sondland, the one who gave Trump $1 million in order to become an ambassador. What's this guy's name here? Oh. Where is this guy? Gordon Sondland. It's funny how, good old Mr. Trump there, he's never met a pervert or a child molester or a rapist or a sex trafficker that he doesn't have a friendship with. We even turned up some information about his relationship and his friendship with Liberace. He gave Liberace a free apartment to use in Trump Tower in New York City. Right around the same time that Liberace had just broken up with his little 15-year-old boyfriend there, Scott Thorson. And Scott Thorson, as you know, had a relationship with Michael Jackson, too, and we know his background and history. And did you know that Mr. Trump's sons said that when they were... Our dad's no racist. Because when we were kids, he let us play with Michael Jackson. He let us play video games with Michael Jackson. You gotta love it, man. So Mr. Trump there with his relationships with people like Adnan Khashoggi, sex trafficker. George Nader was just arrested again for possession of child pornography, child rapist. All these connections here. We're supposed to overlook all that and think he's about to save us. Anyway, one of his buddies is this guy Gordon Sondland. Remember Gordon Sondland? He gave Trump $1 million to become ambassador to the EU, and then wound up in this Ukraine deal, and he was testifying there, right? Talking about, yeah, Trump knew everything. This is a policy. Pretty much became John Dean, Well, this guy's got his own interesting background. He's from Oregon up there, right? And he was at the movie premiere with Gus Van Sant about the movie about Milk, Harvey Milk, another notorious child rapist, had a 15-year-old runaway boyfriend. So he was at the movie premiere there with Gus Van Sant, who has his own reputation against these same lines. And he's also photographed with notorious child predator and rapist Terry Bean. So this guy's got his own wonderful connections going on over there. And I'm watching this guy being questioned by Jim Jordan. Right? You know what? Let me see what we're doing on time, because that whole Jim Jordan thing's a whole story in itself. Yeah, let's take a little commercial break. When we get back, I'll tell you about Jim Jordan. And now a word from our sponsors.
Are you ready to change your life, but don't know how to start? Is your stress and worries keeping you awake at night? Have you been battling grief, anxiety, or depression all alone? Have you lost touch with your own sense of being or spirituality? Soul Free Therapies offers professional and affordable live video streaming counseling and coaching services from the comfort of your own home. Sessions offered in English, Spanish, and Portuguese. Go to our website at www.soul-free.com and book your first session today.
Hey, check out our brand new sponsor, Dynamic Solutions 2. That's the number 2. They offer a life-changing, dynamic financial solution. The finest in fast, professional, affordable credit repair. Is your credit in bad shape? Do you need a new car? Ready to buy a new house? You want to rent an apartment? Are you going to apply for a job? Any one of these activities, they're going to ask for a credit report, and then check out your credit score. Let Dynamic Solutions 2 erase your negative credit remarks. They have affordable monthly prices. They accept Visa, MasterCard, PayPal options available. You go to www.dynamicsolutions, that's the number 2.com, or call 424-888-2820. 424-888-2820. Now, if you enter promo code ED or you mention Ed Opperman, you get a 10% discount. How's that? You get a free consultation, all negative items removed, get back in positive credit position. Dynamic Solutions 2, life-changing dynamic financial solutions. 424-888-2820. Tell them Ed Opperman sent you. You get a 10% discount.
Hey, you, podcast listener. This is your last chance. After this, there is no turning back. Take the blue pill. You wake up in your bed and go back to listening to mundane podcasts that won't challenge your religious beliefs and your so-called truths about reality, the universe, and consciousness. Take the red pill. Subscribe to the Event Horizon podcast, hosted by Mark Anthony Peterson, and he will show you how deep the rabbit hole goes. Event Horizon takes a walk into the paranormal with a splash of conspiracy. It's the podcast that would be born if David Icke and the X-Files had a baby. Subscribe to the Event Horizon podcast by Mark Anthony Peterson on Spreaker, iTunes, Spotify, iHeartRadio, CastBox, Stitcher, or any of your other favorite podcast platforms. Remember, all we are offering is the truth, nothing more.
Have you ever heard of Castile Soap? Pure Soap Flake Company handcrafts fine soap bars, laundry powder, and concentrated soap flakes using organic vegetable oils from their northern Minnesota facility. Bathe your body and wash your clothes with Pure Soap products that are free of fragrance, GMOs, palm oil, sodium lauryl sulfate, and synthetic additives. Safe for drains and waterways, and work great in high-efficiency washers and top and front-loading machines. They have a little promotion going on. Contact them to order some soap. Mention the Opperman Report. You're going to get a free gift. Order today at puresoapflakes.com or give them a call, 218-568-2525, 218-568-2525. Pure Soap Flake Company is a proud member of the Handcrafted Soap and Cosmetic Guild.
It's the Opperman Report. And now, here is investigator Ed Opperman.
Okay, well, welcome back to the Opperman Report. I'm your host, private investigator Ed.